let's now take our feet and plant them into the mat. And then bring our knees in towards our chest, holding the knees with the hands. And let's make gentle circles with our knees together in one direction. Doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise, it's totally fine. Just sort of waking up the body, waking up our lower back, being gentle on our body and our lower back. And breathing as you go around in a way that feels good for you. Slowly coming to a stop, let's bring it the other way. Really sort of relax into the moment, into your body, kind of let everything that came before being on the mat go. Just really bask in the glow of being here and doing something nice for yourself today. And bringing the knees slowly to a stop, keeping them pulled into your body. Let's take the knees to the left and bring the arms out into a T or in goalposts if that's more comfy for you. And you can adjust the knees up more towards your arms or drop them a little bit lower if one is more comfortable than the other. You can just make some adjustments. And bring the knees into the center of your body and drop them to the other side, to the right. And if you're lucky, you'll feel a couple little pops in your back as you do that. Gentle, good pops, never snaps. Snaps are not good. Gentle pops are good. I always enjoy that part of my practice. And bringing the knees back to center. Let's extend the left leg straight onto the mat with the foot, left foot pointing towards the sky, flexed. We'll take the right leg in close to our chest, hugging it in with the arms wrapped around the back of the leg, the hamstring. And on the inhale, let's extend the right leg to the sky. Foot flexed and exhale, bring it in. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, bring it in and extend and bring it in while you inhale and exhale at your own pace for just a few rounds. And the next time you get to point to the extension where your heel is up towards the sky, leave it there for a moment, and you can either with your arm gently guide the right leg to the right, or if you'd like, keeping your right shoulder glued to the mat. If you can reach all the way up to your toes with your right peace fingers and then extend the leg to the right that way. Either way, keeping your right shoulder glued to the mat, well, both shoulders glued to the mat. And it often helps to take the left hand and place it on the left hip, just to keep the left hip grounded. And breathing as we extend the right leg, try to relax into the pose, bringing the leg straight up to the ceiling and lowering the leg and bringing it back down onto the mat. Switching sides, bringing the left leg in, hugging it into our chest, hands behind the back of the leg, the hamstring. And inhaling, bringing left foot to sky. And exhale and hug it in. Inhale up. Exhale down, and a few times on your own. Really trying to enjoy the feeling of moving your body and just extending your leg, and how nice it feels to get a little stretch in. And the next time, bringing the extension up to the ceiling, just leaving it there for a moment, and taking your left leg with your left hand and guiding it to the left, either with your hand, or if you'd like to reach up with those peace fingers, left peace fingers, keeping the shoulder onto the mat and taking the leg to the left that way. Shoulders on the mat, right hip onto the mat, Beautiful extension through the inner left leg. Breathing through the stretch, relaxing into the stretch. And bringing it back up. And leg along, both legs along the mat. Now bringing the hands above your head, fingers pointed behind you, and pointing your toes out the other direction, making your body nice and long in morning stretch, stretching it out. Reach, reach, reach. Stretch that torso, reach those arms and legs. Oh, that feels so good. Relax. Now let's do banana pose. And we're going to take our right leg and right arm and torso to the right, and bring the left arm and left leg to the right as well. And you can wiggle your torso more over to the right as you can, or back off, as feels good for you. Making sure that your shoulders are on the mat and your hips are on the mat. You're not rolling over to the right. If you'd like, you can cross your left ankle over your right, and that gives you a little extra stretch in the left hip and lower back, which I really like. If it's a little too much for you, it's an option. You don't have to do that. You can just leave both feet on the floor. And breathe, enjoying the stretch in your left side body. And bringing it to center. Let's do the same on the other side. So arms and legs to the left, looking like a banana or a C shape. And keeping both your shoulders on the mat and your hips on the mat. And if you'd like, you can cross that right ankle over left and make some adjustments in your torso. If you're able to lean to the left a little bit more, become more of a C shape, you can. And if you want to back off, you can do that too. It's whatever feels good. Pleasantly challenging. That's what we're going for. And breathing. Feels good. Let's come back to center. And let's roll up. Rolling up into a seated position. Then coming over your legs and into child's pose. So in child's pose, our knees are mat width apart. Our feet are together, and we bring our hips down onto our heels, and we extend our arms forward, long, 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 all the way towards the front of the mat with our hands spread. And just sort of relax into child's pose. And if you ever feel like any of the poses are too much, child's pose is always a lovely place to come back to. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You can just come into child's pose and hang out. Let's flip our palms and then bend the elbows so that the palms are clasped, our hands are clasped behind our neck. And if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can walk the elbows up towards the top of the mat, making sure your heels or your sitting bones are still on your heels. I guess that your heels are still on where your sitting bones are, but I think your sitting bones are more in control of the situation. And then bringing the arms straight out in front of you again. Let's come back up into a seated, cross-legged seat. And as we move to our cross-legged seat, making sure our spine is nice and long. So ensuring the alignment of our spine coming out of our pelvis. So we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back, we're balanced on top of our pelvis. Spine nice and long, shoulders down away from our ears. Imagining that the crown of our head has a string at the top, and that there's something pulling the string up towards the sky. Chin is parallel to the floor, so we're not tipping it up. And let's take the right arm and start making some large circles with the right arm. Doesn't matter which direction. We're going to do the opposite direction in a few moves. I just get some lovely movement into that arm and shoulder and chest, limber things up a little bit. And slowing it down, let's bring it the opposite direction. I think of this as my 80s power chord move. Just in case, one or two of you remember the 80s. And other arm, left arm, let's sweep those nice big circles around in one direction. Still being mindful of our spine. Nice and long, posture, nice and long, and then slowing it down and moving it in the opposite direction. And slowing that down and bringing hands to knees. Let's do some shoulder rolls in one direction. Breathing as you're going around. Don't hold your breath. Enjoy the feeling of breathing as you're moving. And slowing it down in opposite direction. And since it's Monday and maybe some of us are carrying some tension, let's bring the shoulders up towards our ears. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And then relax down with an exhale. One more time, shoulders up, up, up. Inhale, inhale, and lower and exhale. Relax down. If you want to tip your chin down towards your chest, just to stretch the back of your neck out a little bit. It's a nice thing to do. If you want, you can bring your hands gently to the back of your head to apply some gentle pressure to intensify the stretch just a little. Coming back to a regular seat, so chin parallel to the floor. Let's take the right arm and extend it straight out in front of us with the palms facing toward us, palm facing towards us. We'll take the left hand on the back of the right hand and gently push the right hand towards our body. And breathing into that great stretch in the top of the wrist and in the forearm. Feels so nice. We don't usually stretch that part of our body too often. It feels really good. Let's flip the palm away from us, fingertips facing down, and take that left hand again and bring the fingertips of the right hand back towards us, stretching the wrist on the other side. Breathing as we do, trying to keep the shoulders down. We don't want to scrunch them up. Let's relax them down. And relax both hands down. For fun, let's recross our legs in the other direction. And then we'll take the left arm out, straight out in front of us, fingertips facing down, palm facing towards us. Take the right hand and push on the back of the left hand to bring the palm closer to us, stretching the top of the wrist. Breathing into that stretch. Flipping the palm over, fingertips down, palm away from us, and pushing back with the right hand on the left fingertip, stretching the other side of the wrist. Breathing and relaxing into that. Dropping the hands down, let's take the right arm and bring it all the way across our chest, taking the left arm like a bracket. So the bicep area is parallel to the floor. The forearm is facing towards the ceiling, fingertips to sky, and the right forearm, wrist area is sitting in that little bracket. And then with that, we're going to pull back with the left arm, pull back with the right shoulder, and then look towards the right. And breathe. And in this pose, we're going to be mindful of keeping the right shoulder away from our chin. We don't want it scrunched up near our chin. We want it lowered down, a little space for our neck, but still keeping the arm supported across our chest, keeping the left arm with integrity like the bracket that we're envisioning it to be. Pulling back, right shoulder, pulling back, left arm, and relax it down. Now on the other side, we'll take the left arm, bring it across our chest, using the right arm this time as a bracket, fingertips to sky on the right hand, and pulling back with the left shoulder, pulling back with the right arm, creating the space between our shoulder and our chin, and looking towards the left. Making sure we breathe, we don't hold our breath. Everything's easier when we breathe. And I snuck a little peek to make sure that my right arm's not getting lazy, falling down. You can do the same thing too if you like. And then relaxing it down. We'll do a seated spinal twist, making sure that our spine is out of our pelvis, nicely aligned, sitting on top of our pelvis, crown to sky, chin parallel to the floor. Let's take our right hand and place it like a foot behind our right glute. We'll take our left hand and place it just above the right knee, using the right leg as leverage. On the inhale, lengthening the spine, crown to sky. On the exhale, looking to the right, looking over the right shoulder, inhaling and elongating. Exhale and twist. And one more time, inhale, exhale, and twist. And coming through the center, let's bring the left hand behind the left glute, right hand just above the left knee, elongating on the inhale, exhaling and twist to the left, aspiring to gaze over the left shoulder, elongate and inhale, exhale and twist. And one more time, inhale, exhale, twist. And coming back to center. Let's take the right arm and bring it up, bend at the elbow, and place the right hand on the middle upper back, so elbow pointing to sky. Bringing the left arm behind, bending at the elbow and aspiring to bring fingertips together in the center of your back. This is called Gomukhasana arms. So focusing on bringing right elbow to sky and inching fingertips together, and they may or may not connect, and that's okay either way. The goal is to eventually bring them closer to one another. It's the effort that counts here. And this will create a nice opening in your chest, slight back bend, but not too much. If you're happy, you can stay here. And if you'd like a little more, you can hinge at the hips and come forward with the chest. Come forward and then relax it down if you like. And if you want to stay fully seated, that's okay too. Leading with the heart and coming back up. And leading with the heart, I'll often say that because it encourages you to keep your spine nice and long and not collapsing forward. It lifts things up. Now, on the other side, we'll take the left arm up to the sky, bending at the elbow and placing the left hand in the middle of your upper back. Taking the right hand, bringing it behind you, bending at the elbow, bringing the forearm up and the fingertips of the right hand, yearning towards the fingertips of the left hand. Left elbow to sky. Enjoying the stretch in your right shoulder, the opening of your chest, gentle opening of your chest, and slight back bend, which feels nice too. And leading with the heart, hinging at the hips if you want, bringing it forward and relaxing down. Trying to keep your hips on the floor, grounded to the mat. We don't want to be, rolling up and away somehow. And leading with the heart, let's come on up. There we go, and let it go. And if you want to shake out your arms a bit, you can. And let's come to tabletop position. So tabletop, we have our knees under our hips and our wrists under our shoulders. Our fingertips are spread to create a nice stable platform essentially for our body. Our fingertips, the more they're spread, the more our base is stable. And tops of the feet are on the floor. Let's do a thread the needle. And we'll do that by taking putting our weight into our left hand, bringing the right arm up, fingertips to sky, and then bringing it back down, bringing the right arm across our chest, palm facing up, and lowering our shoulder down onto the mat. We'll check our hips. Our hips should still be over top of our knees, so make any adjustments if you need to. And bring the right arm straight out forward in front towards the top of the mat. And breathe. And you should be looking towards the left. It'd be very, very strange if you were looking to the right. Just as a reminder, look to the left. And with your neck, you may want to lift up your head and just bring it a little bit closer to the top of the mat so your neck is not compressed. And if you're happy here, you can stay here. If you'd like something a little bit different, you can take the left hand and bring it up and behind you and bring it around so that your left fingertips touch your right upper thigh, creating a little bit of a bind, as we like to call it in yoga. And breathe and relax, trying to melt into the mat in this pose. If you took the bind, let's unwind the arm and bring the left palm to the mat and push back up into tabletop. Just taking a breath here, then shifting the weight into the right spread palm. Let's take the left arm, bringing it up, fingertips to ceiling, and then bringing the arm down across the chest, palm facing up, gently lowering the left shoulder onto the mat, looking towards the right. Be mindful of your neck, creating a little length and space, elongating your right arm forward towards the top of the mat, checking your hips, making sure they're over your knees. Relaxing here, enjoying the stretch in your left outer shoulder. And And if you wish, you can take the bind on this side by bringing the right arm up and back and behind you, bringing the fingertips down towards the left. Up with that. And breathe. Now bringing the right arm so that the palm is to the mat and coming back into tabletop. Let's now take the right leg and lengthen it back behind you with the balls of your feet on the mat. Leaning back into the balls of your feet, stretching out your right calf. You can either pulse a little bit in this pose or just, gently keep the pressure. Either one is good. Whatever feels good to you is good by me. Let's take that foot and bring it over to the left, the right toes to the left back corner. And then take a look over your left shoulder towards your right foot. So your right foot is in the back left corner and we're looking over at it. Keeping our hands firmly placed into the mat to make sure we don't collapse down. We're keeping the integrity of the pose. You probably feel a nice stretch in your right hip when you do this. Let's bring it back to tabletop. Doing the same on the other side. So extending the left leg behind you, toes on the mat. Gently pushing into the toes of the left foot, stretching out the left calf muscle. Breathing. Let's lift up the foot and bring it towards the back right corner of the mat. Checking our pose, checking that our arms are nice and straight and strong. And we're pressing our hands into the mat so we're staying nice and stable. And then look to the right. Looking at your left foot over there in the right back corner. And feeling that nice stretch in your left hip. And then let's bring it back to tabletop. Let's take the left leg and, the right leg and the left arm and extend them out. Leg back, arm forward. And we're inhaling as we do this. And then exhale and crunch knee and elbow together. Extend, crunch it in, exhale, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch it in, inhale, extend, and if you'd like, you can reach your left hand back, bend your right knee and grab your right foot with your left hand and kick into it. So you get a little bit of a strength training challenge of your right thigh, and you get a little bit of a balance challenge too. Extend arm and leg and come to tabletop. Guess what? We're going to do the same on the other side. Surprise! So we'll bring our left leg behind, right arm forward, inhale, exhale, crunch it in, elbow and knee meet, elongate, arm and leg, crunch it in, and one more time, crunch it in, and elongate, and you can either stay here or bend that left leg and reach back and grab the left foot with your right hand, kicking into the leg, or if you want to, you can just bring the heel closer to your glute. That's an option too for more of a stretch versus an active pose. Let's elongate again and bring it back to tabletop. Okay. How are we doing for time? We got 15 minutes. Let me see. So let's bring the right leg out in front into a half Hanuman. So we're going to make sure our hips are aligned, squared up to the front of the mat. You might be on your fingertips for this if you're anything like me, or you can do sort of fists, or if you're able to put your hands on the ground, you go on the mat, you can do that too. But keeping the foot flexed, toes to the sky, leg as straight or mostly as straight as you can get it. And we're going to elongate from our spine, from our hips through the top of our head. Elongate, and if you like, you can stay here, or on the exhale, come down over the leg and feel the stretch in the back of the leg. And breathe into that stretch in the back of the leg if that's where you can. Keeping the foot flexed and leading with the heart. Let's come on up, and we'll take the right heel and bring it over to the left side of the mat, keeping the toes positioned and pointed into the center of the mat for an IT band stretch. Now, one thing I was reminded of recently is that an IT band stretch is really great for your knee health, actually. It helps keep the knee healthy and pain-free. So keeping those toes pointed into the center of the mat, you can either stay here or lengthen up through the spine and come down over the leg. And that IT band stretch can be intense, so pleasantly challenge yourself. Never too much. And leading with the heart, coming back up and back into a tabletop position. Let's bring the left leg forward, nice and straight and long in front, with the heel on the mat and the toes pointed towards the sky. Hips square to the front of the mat. If you need to put a little bend in the knee, that's totally little, or maybe more than a little, depending on where you're at, that's totally okay. And you can stay here or lengthen on the inhale and come down on the exhale over the leg. Keeping the foot flexed, breathing into the stretch. And leading with the heart, coming back up. Let's take left heel over to right side of the mat. Toes pointing towards the center. Trying to keep your hips squared to the front of the mat. I know that's a little bit challenging, but trying to aim for that spirit. Elongating the spine on the inhale. And if you like, coming down over the leg on the exhale. Minding the toes, bringing them into the center of the mat. And, lifting up or coming down as feels comfortable for you. And leading with the heart, coming back up. Let's bring the heel back to center. And coming back into tabletop. And then having a seat on the mat. I had a series of standing poses planned for today, but we've been having so much fun doing what we're doing that we're running out of time. So that's great. We can get a lovely, more chill stretch by staying on the mat, which is totally great. Let's place both of our feet like a foot or two in front of your glutes. So your knees bent, pointing towards the sky. And holding on to the back of your thighs, lean back, open across your chest, bringing your shoulder blades slightly together, shoulders down and away from your ears, leaning back. You can stay here if you like, or you can bring the feet up so that their calves are parallel to the floor. If you want more, you can release the arms forward and front. And then lift the legs up if you'd like. And feel the belly shake. And bring it back down. Let's take, that's boat pose. We can then take the heels of our palms, our wrists, place them under our shoulders, and lift the hips up into a reverse tabletop, checking that our ankles are under our knees, lifting up those hips, and keeping the knees hip width apart. So not splaying them out, not bringing them too much in, but hip width apart. Breathing, relaxing the head back if that feels nice. And lowering the hips down gently with control. Let's do boat pose one more time. So feet on the ground, opening the chest, bringing the shoulder blades a little together. Shins parallel to the floor. Arms up and away. In front of you, reaching forward and then lifting the legs up. Breathing. Opening the chest and bringing it down. Now, let's take a seat and bring our feet and our heels together right in front of our groin. Trying to bring them in close to the groin, as close as comfortably accessible for you. And bring the knees down towards the mat. Now, if they're up here, that's totally okay. If you're close to the mat, that's great. Whatever feels good and accessible and slightly challenging is great. If it's nice for you, you can flutter the knees. Spine nice and long. And I like to hold on to my feet. That provides sort of a little bit of support and leverage in a way for my spine. And then hinging at the hips, bringing the heart, leading with your heart, coming forward, 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 and then relaxing down. This is bound angle pose. So you're probably feeling a nice stretch in your inner thighs. Breathing into that stretch. Coming a little bit forward still if you can. Relaxing down. Leading with the heart, coming back up. Let's do a fire log pose. So we'll take the right shin and lay it. Well, I'm facing the side of my mat. If you're at the front, facing the front of your mat, so it's parallel to the front of your mat. And then take the left shin and place it directly on top. So your knees and ankles should be stacked. And take a moment to elongate your spine. And if you're good here, you stay here. And if you'd like a little more, you elongate through your spine and lead with your heart and come over your legs and relax down. And you'll keep your feet flexed. That's a very important part of this pose. And you'll probably feel a nice stretch in especially in your left outer hip. Relax your neck down. And lead with your heart and come back up to a nice elongated seat. You can bring your hands to heart center, and then we can try a twist if you're up for it today. And you'll do that by taking your left elbow and placing it on the bottom of your foot, the left foot, which is sitting on top of your right knee right now. And then using that foot as leverage, looking over your right shoulder. And breathing as you do so, and respecting your body and where you're at today. And don't push it, but enjoy it. And Bringing it to center. Let's switch legs. So left shin on the bottom, right shin stacked on top, knees and ankles stacked, elongating through the spine, leading with the heart and coming over the legs if you like. Rounding your head, relaxing your head on the way down. Breathing and releasing, flexing your feet. Breathing through any tension in your right hip. Leading with your heart and coming back up. Bringing the hands to heart center in prayer pose. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you can take the right elbow and hook it onto the right foot. And then using it as leverage, twisting to the left, looking over your left shoulder. Breathing. And coming back to center. Taking a moment. Now let's do legs up the wall. Now, if you're in the middle of a field, you don't have a wall, or if you're in any kind of room where you don't have a wall, not a big deal. You can always just lay back on your back and place your hands, palms down underneath your glutes, and then lift your legs to the sky, feet flexed that way. And that you'll recreate the lovely inversion, and that's totally fine. Or if you do have a wall near you, we'll scooch over to the wall. We'll place our butt basically against the baseboard, and laying down with your back and shimmying up towards the baseboard with your glutes, we will lift the legs up the wall and relax into the inversion. Relaxing your back, bringing your shoulders away from your ears. You can lay with your palms facing up beside you. If you want your one palm on your heart, one palm on your belly, that's okay too. Even if you want to be in cactus pose, if that feels nice, you can do that as well. And really just try to relax and let go in this pose. Keeping your legs nice and long, but not like tense. Relaxedly lengthened. I don't know if relaxedly is a word, but I think you know what I mean. And a few more breaths here. Enjoying the reverse flow of blood in your legs. That's how relaxing that is. You can lower your legs, and let's move into Shavasana. So in Shavasana, shoulder blades are slightly together as we lay on the mat, bringing the shoulders away from our ears, arms long beside us, palms to the sky. Relaxing the face, placing the tongue in the middle of the back of our upper teeth. Relaxing our belly, relaxing our legs, feet slightly apart. And maybe this would be a nice opportunity to re-envision that lovely white light that we started with. The light that we all carry within ourselves. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves it's there, but it is, it's always there. Of hope and beauty and positivity. And how useful and helpful it can be sometimes to consciously stoke that beautiful flame. And with that, let's place our feet on the mat, knees towards the sky. Roll over to one side and come back up into a seated position.